It's not even 4 o'clock in the morning, and look at me. I'm a mess. I'm a chocolate mess. Um, what I'm trying to do, and getting more and more depressed about it as I continue, is trying to figure out whether desk pens are reliable writing instruments. Okay, Kat, you don't have to throw your 2 cents in. Um, my Here's my thought. My thought is that a desk pen sits on your desk, and how many times do you go to your desk? You know, once a week when you pay the bills. Of course, who pays the bills with a check anymore? Who writes a letter anymore? Who goes to a desk anymore? But back in the olden days, when this was brand new, um, you didn't text. You could write letters. You could sign checks. You could sign contracts with MGM for another 5 years of shitty movies. Um, but the good parts about a desk pen are many, and I don't want to go into them again. You can look at my opinions about them later if that interests you. So what I've done, yes, I know all of you could see, not you, but all of you could see that this has a Schaefer nib in it. Well, deal with it. Finding pens that I could do this test with was not as easy as I thought, because a lot of pens in my personal collection, which meant in drawers in this particular case, because I don't have every square inch of table space is used to hold all sorts of other shit, is these were in drawers, and almost every single one I tried, the sack had gone awry. And some of them went awry because of my own negligence, where maybe I didn't, after playing with the pen and trying it out and writing with it for a while, I got bored with it and put it in the drawer without really fully emptying it. So even though this part of the sack is pliable, this front part, as you can see, is not. So this sack may have had another, 2 minutes of life if I hadn't done that. Something's wrong with the pen sack company these days, and that's another thing that sort of depresses me. Yes, the ice caps are melting, and this is the very bottom of the list of first world problems. But it is an issue that I think is new. Now, are they falling apart because the ozone layer is going away? Are they falling apart because they're made out of less robust materials? Is it because I touch myself? I mean, I don't know. What is the problem here? Why don't they work like they used to? They seemed to work before a lot better. So anyway, so here's my plan. And I'm not going to do the first one here because I'm still selecting some more desk pens to go in here. But I'm going to have a clean sheet of paper, and I'm going to have a little list, Parker Duofold. Can we spell? I was Parker Fold. Park Fold is what I was writing. Parker Duofold. Yes, Schaefer nib. If I can find a Parker nib in the next hour, I'll shove that in. And I'll do that with all of the pens, and then every day in the coming week, I'm going to take them out of their socket. I'm not going to coax them in any way. I'm just going to pull them out like I would be if I was Cecil B. DeMille and signing my side of the contract with, Fred Astaire or whatever it is, and then hand it to Fred and he'd sign his name. So I'm not going to, put it on the paper and sort of do this and test it and do all that. I'm just going to take it out and write my name as if, just like in the movies, the unless it's the Three Stooges, anytime anyone grabbed a pen and wrote with it, it wrote. They didn't have to fill it with ink. They didn't have to fuss with it. They wrote with it because that's what you do. And a friend of mine refers to when he finds a parking spot right in front of the bank, if he's going to the bank, he drives right in. He doesn't even have to parallel park. He just drives right in. He calls that Doris Day parking because that's what she always did. Because, 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 5 seconds of her to get out of her Cadillac to get the loan from the bank or go visit the Rock Hudson in his office or whatever it was. So I'm going to pretend that I'm Doris Day signing my contract. So I'm going to pull it out, write with it, and if it doesn't write in the first box, I'm going to go to the second box and I'm going to sort of coax it a bit somehow and see if it writes then. The point is, I'm trying to figure out whether this pen will dry out while it's sleeping, while I'm sleeping, while Doris Day is sleeping. Now this one, these Parker sockets have little spring-loaded things inside that sort of keep the pen positioned. Why they're there, I don't quite know, but they're there, whatever. And, air can go through these little cavities, and I don't think that there's a seat against which this section would fit. So that might dry out, where this one seems tight. I shove it in and, I can sort of pick it up like this. So I think this one will not dry out. Now, the gap you see there, deal with it. That's another thing where at one point these pens had metal sleeves to keep these things from breaking, and the metal sleeves often, I don't know if the plastic shrinks or what, but the metal sleeves are often visible, and I'm not going to get out my file to file it down. So this is a tight fit, so I think this one will be fine for Doris Day to sign her name. I also have a Parker 21 in a Parker 51 socket. I'll probably put a 51 in there just to make it accurate. I feel that this is going to be tight. Let's just get a 51 for God's sake. Do I have a 51 desk set? No. I might. I have some that don't work. That I haven't fixed. But they're essentially the same thing as a 51. Okay, so I'll fill up a 51 that I know works. Put it in here instead of that one. Okay, got that. I have a 51 right in mind. I just put ink in this one though, so I've got another one of these. Maybe I'll just leave this here. This is that great design by Mohol Naga, whatever his name is, who had this magnetic ball. So it can do, shift into first, second, third, fourth, reverse. Some desk pens only go up and down, and they go into first or reverse. They don't do the back and forth business. Okay, what do I have over here? Here's a Schaefer. Oh, there was trauma this morning at 3 o'clock when I tried to grab this pen. The shelf that this was on and a number of other ones were on all came crashing down. And one of my pens broke right in half. So here's a Schaefer. Now, the Schaefer desk pen had this little staple in it. Now, why? It's a little metal thing that, why did they have to do that? Because it's fugly. What did I just break? Come on. Sometimes these little sockets have little grooves in them. I'm just trying to find the one that does. Here's a Triumph nib pen that screws in. Now that's a clever idea, except you have to unscrew it to take it out. This is one that broke. Thank you very much. The threads, I think it broke. I don't know whether it broke before or subsequent to or concurrent with the shelf breaking. That's a nasty sounding nib. What's wrong with that one? Let me just see. God, that's a nasty. Why is this all so corroded? It's like someone was using this as a cigarette holder. What's this doing over here? Is this waiting to get soaked out? That's what it's doing over there. This nib is defunct, or needs straightening. Put it away, Pierre. Put it away. Come over back here to this thing. So I will. I think this one feels pretty tight, though. How can it be tight with that thing? So we'll see. We're just gonna see about that. We're gonna see. Did I fix this one yet? Or did I not fix it? Yes, I did. I fixed it and I filled it. So this is a big old Schaefer, and it's in a big old socket over here. So what I'll do is I'll do this correctly. I maybe will take, when possible, the sockets off of the slab to conserve room on my already crowded desk here. But maybe not. Maybe I can figure out a way to keep them. So my plan is to do, once a day for a week. Let's just see how they work out. Every morning I'll sign someone's name and see if they need coaxing, and then I'm going to leave them be for a week and come back and see what's happened. I don't think the ink will have evaporated, but the ink might have dried here. And if it did, then I'm going to say that's not a very smart pen to have. Now, if you, and you, and you, and you, like these pens, and you use your pen every day, I don't see how this would be a problem at all for you. But if you don't use it every day and use it once a week, I think you might find it annoying. So I know if this was a controlled experiment, I would have, I don't know, hundreds more desk pens, and I'd be blindfolded when I am handed one of these by a white-gloved laboratory assistant in a white coat. And I'd pretend to write my name, and I'd have to write my name every day exactly the same way, but that's not how I work. Look at this. Would I work at NASA, do you think? No. We'd still be in our cave if I worked for NASA. The jury's still out on this 45. I can see why people like it. It's very lightweight, fits slimly in the pocket so it doesn't ruin the cut of your suit. The cut of your jib is unruined by a big bulky pen. You don't walk slowly in a circle because the weight of the pen is pulling you toward the left. You walk straight ahead, and there's nothing wrong with this thing. It's just so light compared to all the pens I normally use. Someone wants me to, and I should do this, set up a place where I can actually list pens for sale, but so often I like to talk with the person first, or you just don't click to add to shopping cart, but I get to know whether you're going to be a good parent to my children. And that's the deal. I forgot that, I am, so many of these ones I am having to put a new sack on. I just, I'm not cleaning every single one of these out before I fill it for my test, which probably also would skew the results. This is, there are a number of pens. I've got dozens of desk pens that I have in my for sale drawer, and some of them are, the taper's broken off, or, there's a big cigarette burn in this thing, but they all have, or many of them have nibs on them, and I can yank the nib out and put in another pen, pocket pen, or another desk pen I have. But what I should do is just pull all of those things out and just try the nibs. Why don't I do it now? Per Gustafson. What an idea. This is just one box. Look at these little brown Vacuumatics. Hate that sound. My level of hell would be, the sound of a Vacuumatic or a 51 plunger bar that is clearly unworking. There's a little blue diamond right there. So here's a vac, and it looks like it has an actually nice nib. There's my thing here. Look at that. What do you know? What do you know? That's a keeper. Okay, this is a 45. Come on. I'm not there. Just go to the bottom of the. Okay, these pens maybe have not been used for 50 years. So that one can be soaked. What's this? Oh, here's one of these, a Parker 51 desk pen, early version, owned by D.W. Griffiths. Is that the guy that was D.W. Griffith? Was that Griffiths or Griffiths? D.W. Griffiths. Well, I'm just going to have to save that. Look at this. Another one of these. Except this is a standard size. This should have a striated taper. But it doesn't. Hate those fillers, lockdown fillers. A nightmare to fix. Okay, well these are sort of neat. See, here's a taper. Okay, what do we have here? Another one of these. That's an awfully long taper. That doesn't even move. I'm really so not in a Parker mood, other than the Parker 51 these days. Nice nib. Nice transparency for those people that get into that. Another 51 blue diamond right there in the middle. That's supposed to be blue. Ooh, this one, I bet this one even works. Yes, it does. What do you know? So this will be, I will put this, even though this is not the right pen for the socket, I will put, now the thing, oh, I guess it isn't working. The thing about 51s is when you don't use them for a while, and for some reason they dry out, they really take a long time to get going again, because you've got to clean out the feed. Here's another 51. This one sounds good too. Let's fill it up the right way, Pierre. Again, it's slow in starting because it hasn't been used in a million years. So let's just put that there. Okay. Ooh, senior Parker Duofold pen. Okay, try out the nib. This nib wants to be a Sheaffer. It was kidnapped from the Sheaffer factory, and here's a ballpoint pen for a 51 desk set. Another 45. Well, let's try out the nib. That's what we're doing here. Nice big ball of a nib. This, I could see someone liking this pen, just if it was a desk pen, to sign their big old contract. Look at this sweet thing. It's not supposed to have that thing on the back. Ooh, very flexible Parker nib. Look at that. What's not to like about that thing? Keeper. Another 51. Needs to be fixed. Another 45 with another big nib, and this has a converter on it. This alone is worth lots of money these days. big blobby nib. Let's try it out. Yeah, see, I actually like this this is because of this converter, which is heavier. Well, that other one has a converter in it, so I don't understand. This feels, maybe it's that, who knows? Why does this feel good to me and the other one doesn't? No nib, Conklin. There's another Conklin without a nib. Look at that. It's another one of these. Flexible nib. Look at the stuff I've got. I haven't looked at this drawer in what? In years. And there's all sorts of little gems in here. Another one of those. Another 21. 21s often are cracked right up there, and too bad for you if that happens, because there's not much you can do about it. This looks like it is a big ball of a nib. Something tells me, you know, if the 21 has not cracked by this day and age, it's probably not going to crack. I think, you know, the what's the word? The statute of limitations for cracking has come and gone. Look at this. A Flighter something. Parker. Parker? Yep, Parker. What does this do? This goes in a Flighter. Well, it actually works. You know, if there was only one ballpoint desk pen in the world, I think this is almost what it should look like. Another one of these with another one of these, except this one needs a new sack in it, which is going to be impossible to put in. Well, not impossible, but not easy. Big ball of a nib again. Somewhat flexible. Huh. I'm having fun. Are you having fun yet? Another. Does that have iridium? It does have iridium. Not bad. Senior Parker, no nib. Lady Parker, no nib. A ballpoint, 51 ballpoint pen. Huh. Lady Duofold. Firm, but slightly italic-y kind of nib, stubby kind of nib. Look at this. What's wrong with this? Conklin. Is it a crack or just something? Little pen repairman spit will clear that right off. That's the sound of a pen that doesn't seem to have any iridium on it. It's that sort of raspy sound. Conklin. Okay, another 51 with yep, without a sack. Another 51. Ooh, look at that nib. It's doing this, not that. Poor thing. What trauma did you have? The iridium is still there. You think I can fix that? I wonder. Soak that, see if I can get that out. Well, with all of this, what have I found? What have I done? Oh, look at this. Gilmore, and whoever was the engraver in that one got a D+ in engraving skills. They would have gotten an F, but the shop teacher's name is Gilmore, so he felt obligated to give the guy a D+. Or girl, could have been a girl in shop class back in, yeah, right. No, they were in home ec. I'm having a little argument with someone from on whatever those things are called, social networking, who is under the impression, well, I don't want to get into it. Just leave it to say that he would think that, it seemed as if he would think that women belong in home ec and only men can be trusted with, there's another one of these, with heavy machinery. He and his followers think that Melania is the most beautiful FLOTUS ever. Poor thing. I looked at that pen already. So I found out that I have some rather nice nibs on these, whatever they are, desk pens, which I'll never fix. But maybe what I'll do with these is I'll just put them in a box and maybe do a drawing with each of them. And just take all the ones that have nibs. This is the one that has a nib, but it's one of those. You know, if I do a drawing with one of these that I like, at least they will have served a purpose rather than just, you know, I paid money for these. Each one of these things was not free. I put money into it and I still have it, so, and I haven't used it and I haven't sold it to anyone because it's still here. And, you know, when I pay money for my bottle of milk, I usually drink it before it goes bad. And but these seem like just a bunch of spoiled milk right now in my mind because I haven't done anything with them and I haven't sold them to you. But if I just take one of these, take it over to my drawing desk, I don't even have to fix it, I can just dip it and do a drawing. Maybe then when I throw it back in the drawer, I'll say at least I did something with these things other than shell out money. Because right now, I look at this pile of stuff and I have bills to pay and things to do with money, which I don't have. But I have money tied up in these things. It's difficult being me. Can I find a paper for this one so I can put it in my list of, this doesn't fit exactly, but it will fit enough. It'll fit for my purposes. Good. I will put these in a little cup, points sticking upwards, and just play with them for a bit. Off camera. You don't need to see me play with them. And this is just one. Okay. You want to see the others? No. Did you talk amongst yourselves? This is an off-brand pen-pencil combo. Look at that. Kind of cool. What's in this box? This looks like a off-brand. That nib isn't going to do anything to anyone. There are some pens. I'm also looking for large-sized desk pens like this because I have someone that is interested in frankenpenning with the desk pen. So some of these things I'm looking for a particular reason. This one might go to him. What's in here? These are all walls. Poor thing. Oh, and a more. Look at that big old more. Oh, what's wrong with this one? Crack in the... crack in the stern of the nib, which is typical for Moores. Needs a pressure bar. There's a crack right there. Okay, but look at that thing. That's quite lovely. Even with its faults. Oh, these are Moores. Nice nib on that one. I don't want to get them mixed up. Another Moore. This one looks like it has a nice nib. It looks nicer than it is, though. Looks like it would be really, really flexible and it isn't. Another nib, steel nib. Okay, I'm just going to put these back in the baggie, and this time I'll label them more. I think I may take this one out though. No one's going to want to buy this one, so I'll just take that one out too because it has a nib. This one out because it has a nib. Okay. These are carcasses. Is this the one I just tried? This one really, you need to press down to make it do anything, but pressing down on a more nib is asking for trouble. Nice nib on that one. And this one with all the cracks. What does this say on it? Moore's Manaflex pen. Okay, I'm done. I've got more, but I'm done. I'm getting now depressed. And it's not even 5 in the morning. Bye.